Hi everyone, you are welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time of joining us, thank you for being here. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how I created these petals. It's a fabric flower. You can attach it to your dress and it's very easy and simple to make. So let's get started. To begin, I'll be drafting on this paper, and the length of this paper is 5.5 inches, which is going to be the biggest petal. Then at the hem side, the down part, I measured 3 inches, and I went over to the upper part of the paper and I measured 3.5 inches. All right, I'll go ahead and connect my points. After connecting, this is what we have. It's kind of slanted. So I'll go on and curve it at the edge like this on the upper part. You can see the shape that we have. Then I'll go on and cut it out. So now we have our first layer, which is the biggest petal. I'll be placing this on my fabric to cut out about 8 pieces of it. Okay, so let's cut out the second layer. The second layer is going to be 1 inch shorter than the first layer. So this layer is going to be 4.5 inches in length. Okay, 4.5 inches in length. Then I'll go ahead at the down part, I'll measure 3 inches, and at the up part, I'll measure 3.5. I'll connect my dots like this, and then I'll go ahead and give it a curve at the edge just like that. After which, I'm going to cut it out. After cutting out, this is what we have. You can see the difference between it and the first layer. So go on and cut out the third layer, which is going to be 3.5, 1 inch shorter than the second layer. So this is going to be 3.5, and I'll go ahead at the down part and measure 3 inches, and at the upper part I'll measure 3.5. I'll connect my dots like this, and I'll go on and give it a curve at the edge just like that. I'll go on and cut it out. Okay, and this is what we have. All right, so you can see the sequence. The third layer is shorter than the second is shorter than the first layer. I'll be cutting out on my fabric. I added interfacing to the fabric to give the petal structure. Okay, so I'm going to place my fabric on fold like this, and I'll be placing the petals, the pattern, on the fabric before cutting out. Okay, so the first layer, I cut out about 8 pieces of it. Okay, then the second layer, I cut out 6 pieces of it. While the first layer, I cut out 4 pieces of that one. We have 4 pieces there. So what I'll be doing, I'm going to pick 2 pieces. I'll place them on each other like this. I'll go over to my sewing machine using 1/2 inch. I will sew all round, but leaving the down part opened. Okay, I'll do same thing for the rest. Okay, I'll be placing them 2 by 2 on each other, and I'll be sewing using 1/2 inch. Okay, sewing using 1/2 inch, but remember we are leaving the down part opened. I'm done sewing. The next thing is to go on and notch it all round before turning it to the right face. Remember, while we were placing the petals on each other, it was right face facing each other. So the sewing, we did it on the wrong face. Now I'm trimming out the excess and I'll turn it to the right face like this. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for the rest, and then I'll give it a good press. After giving it a good press, this is what we have. Okay, so now for the first layer, I have about 4 pieces. For the second layer, I have 3 pieces, and for the first layer, I have 2 pieces. So now I'll go back to my sewing machine and I'll be pleating at the down part like this. At this point, go ahead and be creative with your work to get the kind of shape you want. I'm done pleating mine, and this is what I have. Okay, so the next thing is to layer it. I have this wording. This is a thick wording. I cut it out in circle. I'm going to be placing the first layer, which is the biggest petal, on it like this. Go ahead and arrange it this way. Make sure they are overlapping on each other like this, and I'll go over to my sewing machine and sew it round. You can use your hot glue at this point. You can use a fabric glue, whatever you want, but for me, I'm going to be sewing it so that it stays strong together. So this is how I'll be layering it on the wording, and I'll be sewing it step by step. Okay, so let's go over to the sewing machine. I'm going to show you step by step how I went about this. After sewing the first layer all round, I'll go on and place the second layer like this. Use your pin to hold it down to keep it in place. I'll place the other one like this. Just go on and arrange it how you want the outcome to be. Alright, like I said earlier, go on and be creative with your work at this point to get your desired outcome. I'm going to be placing it like this, and I will sew all round. So after sewing it, the next thing is to place the first layer. Now I'm going to be using this first layer to cover up the rough edges as well. So I will place it like this, and I will sew. Okay, I'm going to sew the first layer like this. Just watch how I'm going about this particular one. Okay, now so after sewing, what I'm going to do next is to turn it this way. All right, so you see I'm going to turn it like this to cover up the rough edges on that part. Then I'll go on and top stitch on it. Okay, I turned it this way, and I will top stitch on it to keep it in place. Just watch carefully how I'm going about this, and you're going to understand it. So I'll take the second petal, and I'm going to place it like this. I'll go on and sew it as well. After sewing it, I'll turn it this way, and you can see that the rough edges is completely covered up. So I'm going to sew it like this using 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. So after sewing it, I'm going to be turning it just like I did for the other side like this, and I'll top stitch on it. And you can see we have a neat finishing around that part there. So guys, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, hit on the red button to subscribe, like, drop a comment, and also share our videos. So I'll go on and top stitch on it. This is going to keep it in place. If you have watched to this point, thank you for being here. We appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. You can see the neat finishing. Alright, so this is what we have at the end. See you in my next video. Bye.